by, like, we have, Ted Bundy. Well, Bundy is one of the Illuminati bloodlines. I always wonder if that's connected,
Yeah, well, that is a bloodline. According to Fritz Springmeier, the Bundys are one of the 13 Illuminati bloodlines.
Yeah, and here we have a serial killer by the name of Bundy,
Yeah, and supposedly he was very charming as well.
Oh, they're very charming. They are so good at making you feel good that, like, how would you ever suspect them, But they have it is well documented. There's Dr. Hare. He lives in Vancouver, and he's one of the world's leading experts on psychopathy. And he talks about what is referred to as the reptilian stare. Is what psychopaths do is they stare at you, and it's a very hypnotic, like Rasputin stare. And I've heard that from other people that have written about reptilians and encounters with reptilians. They do the very same thing. And in fact, it's called a reptilian stare.
Yeah, and you have that picture of Rasputin on your website.
Oh, it's just it's incredible. And then people don't question that. They're taught not to question. The church creates a box of a way to think, and you don't think beyond what their guidelines are.
Yeah, well, some people will interpret that as being demonic.
You get people that just kind of lump everything into one box called demons.
Yeah.
They stub their toe. Oh, well, a demon did that.
And I'll be like, a gray or a reptilian did it.
Yeah, or the aliens. Oh, well, they're demons. Well, what about flying saucers? Oh, well, those are demons.
Yeah, people tend to get tunnel vision.
Oh, very
much so. They see things
so.
in one way, like, the Zionists did it, or the New World Orders did it, or the aliens did it, or the demons did it. And there's so many different things coming at us at one time.
And our society is so saturated with hybrids. They're just destroying our morality. They're pushing the envelope. They're destroying our morality like worms in an apple.
So
right now they're about to just eat their way out to the surface.
So this is the seed line from Satan and Eve. They created and had Cain.
Satan, through Cain, and then we have the flood. But there's myriads of legends about how the different races went into the earth and hid in the deep caverns.
And I've looked at that one, how they did hide in the hollow earth. But then also, if you look at when Ham was cursed because of what he did with Noah, it was Ham's son Canaan that was cursed, and not Ham himself.
Right.
Because Canaan himself was a bad seed, and so it had to have been Ham's wife that carried the seed line through.
Yeah.
And that's what I believe about the whole thing, because it wasn't Ham that was cursed, because Ham was born of a good seed. It was his son Canaan who had bad offspring, who had bad seed line in him.
And that's what I've noticed genetically. You can have two righteous people in the Lord, and they can just have a monster for a son.
And so once you pick it up there with us, what happened now once after Canaan's seed is cursed, and then all of a sudden we end up with all of these hybrid cities all over the place, because Caleb and Joshua talked about these numerous cities of giants that they were grasshoppers in their sight.
Hmm.
And
and these giants, especially I think it's in Lubbock, Texas, they found Nephilim bones, which we refer to, giants as Nephilim, and they were 6 foot to 7 feet. Well, if you took a Nephilim and you put a suit and tie on him and put him out in the middle of New York, would he draw attention? No, because most Americans are 6 feet.
Yeah, you could put him on a basketball court.
Yeah, I kind of wonder about some of these guys,
Yeah, it makes you wonder, because some of these guys are 7 foot tall.
Yeah, one fellow was saying to me, he goes, gee, I wonder if they're actually, they're breeding them for that purpose,
Because it makes you wonder, because Goliath was 9.5 feet tall.
Yeah.
I don't know how high 30 fathoms is. Do you have any idea?
Oh, no, I used to.
Because Enoch talks about the 2 giants that were 30 fathoms high.
I know before the flood that they were extremely as high as treetops.
Yeah, and probably 30 fathoms. And they were eating 500 cattle apiece a day.
Oh.
And then when the animals ran out, they turned to humans.
Noah and his family were probably the last survivors. The rest ended up in cooking pots.
Yeah, and then after the flood, I don't know if we had any giants that tall again, but we certainly had Goliath, who was 9.5 feet tall.
Yeah, after the flood, they seem to have come down quite a bit in size. They weren't as enormous as they were.
Yeah, and it seems like over the generations, we started to see a fixing of the
once you're interbreeding with humans, the size has got to come down.
And so now, to where a Nephilim, a hybrid, can be 5'7", 5'4", they can just fit right in.
Easy. I mean, and then these bloodlines that, like, you have the dragon, the Order of the Dragon. Well, they claim their bloodline goes all the way back to Cain, and they've kept it extremely pure. And they're at odds. You see, Satan's not organized as much as we think he is, because they're always at odds with the Merovingians. And the Merovingians, they're the kings, the queens, the popes, and the Vatican basically exterminated the whole lot of them during the Inquisition. So the bloodline of the dragon is extremely out for vengeance.
Well, we have two different types, the yellow dragon and the red dragon.
Yeah.
The yellow dragon being the one of the East.
Yeah.
And the red dragon being the royal family of today.
Yeah. Like I say, you need a program to keep ahead of all these different species.
I've never done a lot of study on the Chinese itself. I was just reading the other day how there was the yellow dragon of the East and the red, but the Chinese also refer to it as the red dragon. They come out with movies on this stuff.
All their rulers were of the dragon bloodline, and in fact, one, I forget his name. He looked hideous. He looked like a dragon in with a human body.
And so, let's back up a little bit, because I was reading on your site. We know that these Nephilim hybrids have always felt that their rightful place is to rule over us.
Oh.
And even back in the times of Esau, when he married into the Hittites, they were the ones in charge of economics at that time. They've always been in charge of money and economics.
Exactly.
And so these are the bloodline that always feels like they're rightful heirs over us, and they're not pure humans. So we have all these rulers, and I'm going to let you name some of them because you have them on your site. We have all these rulers that have been our rulers over the last centuries that aren't even pure human.
Well, yeah, people laugh, but like you take Arnold Schwarzenegger, he is not human. He is of the Nephilim bloodline. He wouldn't be in that position if he wasn't anyways.
Yeah, people always ask me about Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I think he's a wild card. I don't pay much attention to him. What's your thoughts on it?
He seems to be. He was groomed right from day one to be the president, but whether he is or not. But I mean, here he was with his roommate, and he was a nobody, and he's just a weightlifter, and he's telling his roommate, "Yeah, one day I go to America and I become famous movie star and I marry a Kennedy." And well, that's wishful thinking, but to marry a Kennedy, I mean, he must have had foreknowledge of what the plan was.
Oh, he was just saying all this as a kid?
Yeah, when he was a nobody in Austria.
Wow.
And he was rooming while he was weightlifting. He was with a roommate, and his roommate said that he told him a couple of times that he was going to go to America and become a famous movie star and marry a Kennedy. And then we have that movie Demolition Man, which was, 1984 or something like that, where it's set in the future with Stallone, and Stallone's being told that Arnold Schwarzenegger is the president, that they amended the law and made him president. And all of a sudden, just a while ago, there was that big push to amend the law so that he could, in fact, him and others, foreign people, could be made, political leaders.
Yeah, because you can't be a president here unless you're a naturalized born citizen here.
Yeah.